Welcome to Australia, welcome to Australian Book Travels, and welcome to this week's sneaky video. This is a really sneaky one. It is not a book recommendation, it is not a travel video, it is a thank you. Well, it's actually a few things, but we'll get into that in a minute. First and foremost, it is a big fat thank you. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. YouTube overnight has informed me that we now have over 500 subscribers, which is, in the YouTube scheme of things, is the first tier of recognition. So we are very, very excited, and we have to just thank you all so much for subscribing, for taking the time to subscribe, and enjoying we hope that you are enjoying the videos. We're trying to make them diverse so that with interesting content, and hopefully over time that will get better. As a number of you know, where you joined us right at the very beginning 7 months ago, we have evolved, and we are more than happy to continue evolving. In fact, that's what we hope to do. We hope to get better and to give you more material and content in the videos. It is exciting and interesting stuff. So that is the first thing. The next sort of tier that we have to try to achieve is 1,000 subscribers. So if you could, please share the channel. Perhaps if you know of anybody who would be interested in Australia or books or just dogs or weird things that go on, pet-friendly accommodation in Australia, and are interested in watching a channel evolve, then please do suggest our channel. We would really appreciate it, and we're hoping to get to those 1,000 subscribers. But honestly, we are really stoked waking up this morning and we're over at 500 subscribers. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. So that's the first thing, a big fat thank you. Honestly, it's just marvellous. Really, really exciting. But that sort of leads me into the other issues that I want to discuss with you. When we have been travelling around, and we understand that very much by the statistics going on the channel, that more people watch the travel videos than they watch the book recommendations, and that's okay. We're trying to give all of you a little bit of something that may interest you. And of course, travelling around Australia, we're wanting to not only promote towns and Australian businesses, but really look for those libraries and bookshops and street libraries. Which leads me on to this. We have noticed travelling around country Victoria, sometimes, not always, but sometimes the more remote and the smaller the towns, the sort of better their street free libraries are. So they're known around the world, but if you don't know about them, oftentimes towns and cities and neighbourhoods will have a converted letterbox or a fridge. Thank you, Rooney. Thank you. You always do this, don't you? They will have a converted fridge or just a box or a letterbox or a purpose-built library. Sorry, he's going to knock the camera in a minute. And they are what they do is people donate books to that street library, and you are more than welcome as a visitor or as a resident of the town to take those books, or a book, or however many books interest you, oftentimes asking to replace them. So either you return them for the next person to read the book, or you replace it with a book that you no longer need or want. And sometimes we've noticed in Australian towns what they're saying is it doesn't matter if you're transient, if you're just passing through and you want to take a book, but they're asking you that the next town that you go to with a street library to perhaps add to that street library. So I've been pondering, when we're promoting towns, although we are promoting them and we're doing it for free, and we're promoting businesses for free, it's just what we want to do. We want to show you Australia. So that's the real crux of it. But as we're going around and I'm filming, it has concerned me that it looks, for all intents and purposes, it looks as though we're taking from the town and not giving back. It may not be fully understood. Not that we've ever had a problem. We haven't. People in Australia have been absolutely welcoming and wonderful and interested in the channel. But me personally, I feel that, I'm taking away and then I move on to the next town. So the last little while, it has been on my mind what I can give back. And it occurred to me the other day, and I'm hoping you like this idea. We're doing it on behalf of you, on behalf of the channel. It's us doing this. But I am thinking of taking you over the next few days, weeks, whatever, taking you to op shops, opportunity shops, secondhand bookshops, new bookshops. And wherever we can, we'll pick up some cheap books. I know Stoneman's bookshop in Castlemaine often have a reduced section outside the shop, and they're not always super cheap, but they're cheap. They're cheap books. They're drastically reduced. And also in Bendigo, there is a secondhand bookshop called Book Now. It is absolutely stunning, the bookshop. But they often have their secondhand books. Perhaps they have excess of this particular book, or it's no longer popular, but they have them for often $1, sometimes $2, but $1, and they put them on a stand outside the shop. So what I'll do is I'll take us around and we may not do that. It just depends on how easily it is for me to do that, to take you around to these shops and then to edit and show you what we're doing. But I will try. And then what I'm thinking, when we travel around to country towns, we take the box of books and some cleaning material, because I do like things looking nice and clean. And because some of the street libraries, because people rummage through the library, it can get a little disheveled, and because they're on the street, they get a little dusty. So I was thinking, as we go to each town and, discover the town and discover the history, when we see a street library, we will grab a few books from the car, from our box of books. We will put them into the library, into the street library, and we will clean up the library. So I just felt that was a way that we could, and particularly for me, to give back to the towns. And also, really, the big idea of this is to encourage the street library and to show appreciation for the country towns having access or giving access to street libraries, to books. So I thought that I hope you like that idea. I thought that may be a good idea. Let me know what you think. As I say, we won't advertise that to the town. We'll just do it, because one of the ideas was that I would write in, perhaps put a little card in to say that we're donating it on behalf of the Australian Book Travels community. But then I thought that may be a little bit trying to skite that you're doing something, and I don't want to do that. I want to do I want to commit to the idea, but I don't necessarily want everybody knowing that we're doing it, because it's promoting, and I'm not good at that, and I don't like that. So, Rooney, please. Oh my goodness. So I hope you like that idea. Do let me know in the comments what you think. I just don't think it's a bad idea. I think, it's giving back to a community, and it's boosting that idea of promoting reading and books. And we'll buy some good books. I don't want to just buy cheap books. I want to buy books that we think will be appreciated by readers. Although, let's face it, we all read different things, so different books mean different things to different people. So anyway, we'll try that. So do let me know what you think. That's that idea. And the other idea is this. Last year, when I first started the channel in November, Rooney, honestly, you're being a little bit naughty. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I apologise. Unfortunately, the dogs don't understand that I'm talking to you and that this is a one take. So I'm not editing this, Rooney. So you're going to have to behave. So the idea is that we, when I first began the channel in November last year, probably a little bit preemptive, but I ran a competition for Christmas, and I bought a load of books in the crime fiction genre and offered them for free to the first few people who indicated on the channel that they wanted the books. Now, that wasn't as successful as I was hoping, more probably because there were only, probably about 40 subscribers, and some of them were friends and family, I must say. So it wasn't as successful. And now that we've reached over 500 subscribers, I thought you may be interested in this idea. What we're going to do is around about October, and I will have to repeat this over the next few videos for those people who only watch the travel videos and those of you who only watch the book recommendation videos, but so that everybody gets a fair chance at knowing what is on offer. But what I thought is around about October, I will post up on the channel 6 questions. 12 questions. 6 from the book recommendation videos and 6 from the travel videos. I put up my hand of 5 fingers, but you know what I mean. It'll be 6. And what we'll do is the questions, those 6 questions that I ask related to books, I will direct you to the videos to which the questions relate. You will have to watch the book recommendation videos in order to get the answer to those 6 questions. So there'll be 6 different videos for 6 different questions. And so too on the, I don't know why I'm doing that, but perhaps it's to help me understand. So too with the travel videos, there will be 6 questions, 6 different travel videos that those questions will relate to. So you will have to watch those videos or re-watch those videos in order to get the answers to the questions. And honestly, Rooney, I think your head's right in front of that. Oh, sorry, everyone. You cheeky boy. So what will happen then? There will be 2 winners. Forgive me that this idea may change. It has only come up in the last 24 hours. So we'll try and fine tune the requirements, and it may actually expand depending on how my mind works. But I will certainly let you all know. So what will happen at this stage is there will be 2 winners, one in the Northern Hemisphere and one in the Southern Hemisphere. Because we also try and promote independent bookshops, really important that we all keep these independent bookshops alive and well. Otherwise, the storytelling and it will just fade. It will just go. And the bookshops, the physical bookshops are so important. They're beautiful, and the book sellers know and have a passion for what they're selling. So this is another thing that we really want to promote. So one winner in the Northern Hemisphere, one winner in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, more recently, the last few months, I have become aware and followed and watched on YouTube a lovely little independent bookshop in Frome, Somerset, called Sherlock and Pages. Now, I have purchased a box of books from them, and I'm just waiting for those books to arrive so that we can do an unboxing. It may take another few weeks before they arrive from England. But what I want to do is, the winner in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm going to buy a book from Sherlock and Pages and get Sherlock and Pages to deliver it to you, because it will be easier than sending a book from Australia to the rest of the world. It will be cheaper, and it is easier, and it will be quicker. You'll receive it a lot quicker. So I haven't informed Sherlock and Pages of this yet, mainly because there's nothing for them to do apart from when I order the book to send it to you. So order and pay, then they will send it to you. So I will probably try and link Sherlock and Pages into this video, or I will email them and let them know, remembering that the books won't be sent out until probably November or December anyway. So I have a few months, but I will try and let Luke from Sherlock and Pages and Agat, his partner, I will let them know that this is what we intend doing. At this stage, it will be one winner from each hemisphere. Now, in the Southern Hemisphere, because Australia is such a big country, and I know that there are other countries in the Southern Hemisphere, but perhaps what we'll do is, let's say if you're closest to, post-wise, if you're closest to Western Australia, I will try and locate an independent bookshop in Western Australia to send the book to you. And so too, if you're closest to Sydney or even New Zealand, we will buy the book, pay for the post, and have it sent to you if you're closest to that end of the Southern Hemisphere, in the Southern Hemisphere. So I hope that makes sense. It will be 12 questions. At this stage, it will be 12 questions, 6 from the book recommendation videos and 6 from the travel videos, which will require you to watch those videos and get the answers. We won't make them too difficult, but there will be 12 all up. And the first one to get those correct and to send them in, probably by email, by a certain date and not before that date. So we may say, look, they have to be in from the 12th of October to the 14th, just as an example. And the first one to get the answers to us in between those dates will be the winner. At this stage, as I say, only 2 winners, and we will, the books will be sent to you. Now, Sherlock and Pages have an array. They really specialise in conservation, nature memoirs, a few classics, and art, history. So if you really like those genres, and that's quite a range, that's quite a few, as I say, history. I know Luke's very passionate about churches, so he carries books about churches and architecture and things like that. So there is an array. I'm sure we'll be able to find a book. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm sure we'll be able to find you a book from Sherlock and Pages that you will like. It will be our choice. We will ask you what your favourite genre is, and we will try to accommodate you in that, but it will be up to us what we send you. And also in the Southern Hemisphere, we have yet to choose a bookshop because as I say, Australia is so big, it costs a lot of money to send anything from one end of Australia to the other. So we would prefer to choose a bookshop, an independent bookshop from either end of Australia to send it out to the rest of the Southern Hemisphere. I hope you like that idea. Once again, do let me know what you think and whether you would be interested in participating. It is a thank you to all of you who watch and subscribe. I don't think we can limit that offer and that competition to just subscribers. I think that would be too difficult, and our intention is to actually offer subscribers more content in the future. And we're working on that. I'm not sure how I work that and how that will fit in time-wise. But our intention definitely is to offer subscribers, to thank you all for your loyalty, to offer you more content. And we're not sure what that will be yet. So yes, do let me know what you think of the Street Library idea, and also what you think of the competition. The other thing I must say, going back right to the beginning of this video, thanking you all for your subscription, for subscribing and for watching the channel and liking and commenting, and it's just brilliant. You are a brilliant community. But on the back of that, there have been some truly beautiful comments, which I will deal personally with through the channel comment section. But I want to thank you all. You have all been so positive and supportive. It's just amazing. You have restored my faith in humanity, actually. You're just really lovely people. But you have actually asked, because some of you, or a lot of you, are new to the channel, and particularly in the last few days, there have been a lot of new subscribers and viewers. Of course, you don't know my name or details of why I'm here. So I thought I'd just give you a quick bit of quick information about me. My name is Cheryl. A lot of people in Australia will pronounce that as Cheryl, but my name is spelt Cheryl, and my parents made it quite clear that my name was Cheryl. So I do introduce myself as Cheryl, but it doesn't bother me how you pronounce it. It doesn't matter. So long as you're kind and respectful, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. So my name is Cheryl, but you're more than welcome to pronounce it Cheryl. I live in central Victoria on a property, on a small property. We have a number of animals. I was a dressage rider for some time, working full-time to support my horses. I have always been a horse person right from a very young age, and being poor as a result, I have to say. Not all horse people are wealthy, I can promise you that. And I was competing very heavily. But due to circumstances and my own health and circumstances in life, I retired from that. I was working full-time as well, but I retired from the sport. And over a period of time, my horses have passed away. And we had rescue horses as well. We rescued them from the abattoir, and in some cases gave the horses an extra 20 years of life. And they travelled with us as a family. They travelled to Tasmania and they travelled back because once I have an animal in my life, it's very rare that we rehouse. The animals are with us until one of us passes, one of us dies. At the moment I only have 2 retired horses. One of them is 30 and the other, I think Allie's about 17 or 18. They're retired, they're loving life, and they walk around the property and keep the grass down. And they're no bother. They are really wonderful. We also have pet pigs. And again, one of them was a rescue. Oh, both of them were rescue actually. But more recently, I lost my 18-year-old pig. We had him from a very young age. He was about 5 or 6 weeks old and was rescued from somebody else. And yes, he recently passed away at the age of 18. He too travelled with us across Australia from Tasmania to here. And yes, and we have geese and chickens, and we are fairly self-sufficient. We are off-grid and absolutely loving it. We have been off-grid since we've lived here, so 12 years. Absolutely love it. It's a great way to live. You're not dealing with large corporations. We were lucky enough in our solar to have a member of the family, a wonderful member of the family who who gave us as a gift the solar system. He is actually an expert in solar, so he knew what he was doing, and he built us the system, and we're on solar, and we have been on solar now in this house for 10 years. Absolutely brilliant. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's fantastic, and we're on tank water and dam water as well. We still have things to figure out. We have a gas stove, which I love cooking on gas. I'm a big cook. I love cooking on gas, but I'm looking at converting that to a wood fire oven. Only really because I just don't like dealing with companies. That's the truth of it. And I know that sounds weird, and you may all sort of balk at that, but I just finding nowadays you're not talking to people, and when something goes wrong, there are phone calls, and those phone calls lead on to press this button if you want to speak to this person, and then you do that, and then it's engaged, or you're talking to an answering machine. So that actually raises my anxiety, and I'm finding it really, I just don't like it. That's the truth. I just don't like dealing with big corporations. Even telephone companies, we really, I mean, you have to be in contact. We have to have broadband and all that sort of thing. NBN it is, I think. And actually, that has been fantastic. I can't complain. But, it's dealing with all those companies. We hear friends who deal with large telephone companies, and they're just having such a problem. So, yes, we're trying to go completely off grid, and I grow vegetables, and we cook our own food. We have eggs, and I'm also an apiarist. I'm a beekeeper. So we have our own honey, and we do give that away to family and friends. So yes, we do love our garden and our trees and the environment and nature. We're very much aware of the damage, or how much we want to limit the footprint that we leave in the world. I don't have children. I never had children. That was a decision I made very young in life, but we certainly have over the years dedicated our life to animals and to the environment and to other people. So yes, that's me. I have a partner, and we have dogs and other animals in our life, other domestic animals, but yeah, that's... and the channel began originally because I had been extremely unwell, and during treatment found myself housebound, and as a result of treatment really did not want to go out into the outside world. So found myself fairly housebound, wanting to be housebound, but realised that was quite unhealthy, because I am naturally an adventurous person. I love travelling, and I love discovering new places, and I love history. I love the history of buildings and towns and all over the world. So it was sort of going against my natural personality to be housebound, and I realised that was unhealthy. So I started, one of my other passions is travelling by train. I love train travel. If I could do that permanently for the rest of my life, I think I would, travelling around the world by train and visiting bookshops. I think I would be in absolute bliss. But anyway, I digress. So I would travel to Melbourne once a month just to get myself out of the house and to visit Melbourne and discover more of it, even though I have lived in Australia most of my life, or all of my life actually. But I really, you don't always know your own towns and your own cities. So I travelled to Melbourne and found myself automatically drawn to bookshops, and realised that there were some beautiful bookshops, and big and small and quirky and not so clean, but fantastic, and absolutely clean and just as fantastic. So it occurred to me, I realised that I wanted to give purpose to myself and to the world, really. Oh, not to the world, but you know what I mean. You have to find your place in the world. I had given up my career, lost my career, so I decided that an idea came, as it always does, the cogs are always turning, that I would like to begin a YouTube channel showing you Australia, talking all things books and visiting towns. And then that sort of morphed naturally into promoting towns, and then promoting books, promoting authors, promoting Australian businesses. And yeah, so that's where it has all, and then that has morphed into, well, we have dogs. I really like to historic properties. I really love staying in bed and breakfasts and beautiful accommodation. But up until recently, that hasn't been always possible with the dogs. So in Australia, it has become more popular now to allow dogs into, or pets into, accommodation. So I thought that the channel then morphed into that. As I was travelling to places, and I didn't want to leave the dogs behind. We couldn't leave the dogs behind, and it's expensive to leave the dogs behind. If you're putting them in kennels, I didn't want to do that. So the idea morphed into, well, if we can go into some beautiful historic places, give the history, promote the business, promote the bed and breakfast, because it is pet friendly. You don't have to have pets to stay in these places. So then it gives you options as someone who is travelling. If you want to go to these beautiful places and accommodation, you can do so without your animals, or you can take your animals with you. So that's then morphed into that. That is the basic story, the long story of, for you, I've chatted on how the channel came about. So I hope that has answered some of your questions and is of interest to you. I'm hoping that you enjoy all of the videos. So what I'll do is I will leave you for now. I want to get this up and not edited, but up and loaded onto the channel by today, because I wanted to thank you all. I wanted to give you those 2 ideas and see what you all think. But a very big thank you. We were very excited this morning to see that we had ticked over 500 subscribers. And of course, some of the videos have had thousands of views. We are very much aware of that, and we are aware that some people don't want to subscribe, or they don't feel confident to subscribe. I can assure you, as a YouTube subscriber myself, and that's the other thing we want to do, is help promote other YouTube channels. So that is something that is in the pipeline as well. Again, the cogs are moving along, but as a subscriber to some of the YouTube channels myself, it is literally just clicking a button. There is no fee involved, and we do not get any unsolicited emails or unsolicited adverts or anything like that. So it is that easy. I'm very much private person in that regard. I don't like unsolicited contact, particularly by these companies, but I haven't found that at all by subscribing. So it is just a click of a few buttons. If you haven't subscribed, I ask you if you please would, because ultimately, although we are not getting any money for this, we are funding this whole channel ourselves, and there is only one wage at the moment, and that's okay. We're happy to do that. It's cathartic for me as well. It's exciting and interesting anyway, but if ultimately I'm wanting to make a business of this, we do have to have many subscribers. So if you are able to, I would appreciate you subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and hopefully you'll find value by doing that. Okay, I think that's it. I just can't thank you enough. I'm humbled by all your beautiful comments, by all of you subscribing, by all of you viewing the channel. It's fantastic. Okay, until Saturday, when the next travel video is up and loaded on the channel, and of course our book recommendations on Monday. Today is, what's today? Thursday. It is Thursday today, so I'll get this up and loaded for this afternoon, and I'll see you Saturday. Okay, take care. Happy reading, happy eating, good eating. You know I advocate good eating, and I wish you the best of luck and good fortune. Keep warm, keep cool wherever you are. Have a think about those two suggestions and let me know what you think. Okay, take care. Bye for now.